I want to do a little bit of a different video today, and I want to give you guys a tour of my current skincare that I have on rotation. I am a skincare blogger. I try a lot of new products, and yet at the same time, I really believe in being consistent with your routines. I definitely feel like you should have a really strong core routine that you use over and over again, not only because it's just going to help you go further with your skincare goals, but it's also going to make your skin happy too. Keep your skin happy and it will reward you. So even though I do have a lot of products coming in and out, I definitely have a huge skincare collection. Let's be honest. I do still like to keep things simple for myself, and I like to make it as easy as possible, which is why I put all the skincare that I have on rotation, all of my hardcore, like holy grail products that I will always put in my routines, and the new products that I'm testing, I put everything into a skincare basket. So I'm going to give you guys a tour of the skincare basket and talk about all the products that I am currently using in my routines right now. So just a disclaimer, I feel like I probably shouldn't have to say this, but I'm gonna say it anyways. I do not use all of these products on my skin at the same time. Of course not. But these are just the products that I sort of pick and choose from and try to keep my routines as consistent as possible. You see my dog? Piper. Hi. So as far as cleansers go, I have a few on rotation. I'm still really loving the Solved Skincare Coconut Cleansing Oil Pads as a first cleanser. This is like the makeup eraser. It just takes makeup off so effectively. The pads are biodegradable, which makes me feel happier about using a product that produces just a little bit more waste in the trash can, but honestly, it's still a product you can feel pretty good about using. It really just breaks down makeup really well. On the days when I do not wear makeup, I actually use the Bifesta Bright Up Cleansing Lotion. It's a Japanese product, so it's got a very confusing name. This is actually more of a micellar water, and I like to use this when I don't wear makeup and I just have sunscreen on my face, so I still do a double cleansing method because I want to make sure that I'm removing that sunscreen properly and it's not hanging around to clog my pores. But this Bifesta really does the trick. It actually works really well on makeup too. I just happen to be a bigger fan of oil cleansing for removing makeup, but this Bifesta removes sunscreen like super easy. As far as second cleansers go, I had to be honest with you, the one that I've been reaching for over and over again is the Krave Matcha Hemp Cleanser. I love this. It's so gentle. There's nothing icky in here, nothing you need to be concerned about. It's totally low pH and it's so gentle on the skin while still being an effective cleanser. And quite honestly, I just don't find myself reaching for anything else right now. So this is the one we're gonna highlight. So lately I've been really into starting my routine off with an essence. And you might be like, wait a second, don't toners come after cleansing? And yes, they do, but I definitely have been getting into products that are a little bit more of considered a first time essence. This is when we start to get into the complicated names of skincare products in Asian beauty, but first time essences are meant to go first. It's in the name. Basically, their job is really to prep your skin for all your other skincare layers. It helps all your other skincare absorb a little bit better into your skin, and it also is like kind of like a jam-packed way to get your skin a lot of nutrients in a very lightweight layer, a very like non-intrusive layer, if that makes sense. So the one that I've been absolutely like enamored with the last month has been the Missha Time Revolution Artemisia Treatment Essence. And if you guys follow me on Instagram, this is like in every routine photo that I've been doing because I really love this and I'm already making such a huge dent in this bottle. But the reason I really like this is it's a very soothing product. It's so appropriate for my sensitive skin. When I first started using this, I was kind of dealing with a little bit of like an irritated feeling on my skin, and this just really just really relieved my skin, comforted it and soothed it really quickly, without like any weight or anything like that. I feel like a lot of comforting layers happen to be creams. This comes in a really watery format. This is Artemisia is actually or Artemisia, is actually mugwort. And the mugwort is very, very soothing to irritated skin. This is actually great if you're acne prone too, because there's anti-inflammation benefits to this one. So I really, really like this. Now, since we're just on the topic of essences, I will point out one other essence that I have in my skincare basket right now, and that is the Purito Fermented Complex 94 Boosting Essence. I had to be honest with you, I've really been dragging my feet to finish this one. I've just been very slow with it. I haven't been using it very consistently. There was nothing wrong with this product. It's a really nice essence. It's got a good, it's pretty watery. It's quite hydrating on the skin. This could certainly double as a toner if you really wanted it to. However, I just really find like this is kind of boring, if that makes sense. Like, it's just not like the most exciting product that I own. It has some nice minimal benefits for the skin, and when I say minimal, I mean more on the visual side of like brightening up your skin, making it look healthier, calming down redness. Maybe part of it's just because I haven't used it super consistently for a long time, but it just isn't like as big of a wow like the Missha is for me, but I still really like this. This also happens to be one of the few Purito products that is essential oil free. So I really appreciate it on that standpoint, but there's just something about this that's just not very exciting. And so I still use it. I like it a lot. I would definitely recommend this. But when I have so many other things that kind of do make a bigger impression on me, this one just often falls to the side. It's still in my basket. I'm still using it. And as I said, I really appreciate that it's very mild ingredients. So it's a great product. It just happens to be a little lower on my list. I am a huge fan of toners. I think that that is well documented on this channel. You guys know I love toners, and with somebody who struggles with a lot of chronic dehydration on their skin, toners really can be the answer to feeding your thirsty skin what it wants, right? So I definitely do invest a lot of my time, a lot of my money on my toners. And one of the ones that I can't quit this toner, I can't quit you, is, I'm sure you know, it's the Keep Cool and Soothe Bamboo Toner. This stuff is so good. My love for this, again, is all over this channel. So I won't say too much about it because I know you guys have heard about it quite a bit from me. But what I will tell you is it's a very watery and deeply hydrating toner. It's very mild. It's appropriate for all skin types. It's great for sensitive skin. There's two sizes that they sell of this toner now. This is the 160 milliliter size. It's actually pretty brand new to the market. But the other size is twice this size. It's 350 milliliters. I finished a 350 milliliter bottle, which is that's like a double size regular toner, by the way. And then I actually was going to focus on some of the other toners that I'll talk about in a second to finish those up before I open anything new, even though I have a few backups of this Keep Cool. It's that good. I think I made it about 5 days of not using it before I cracked this baby open, because I can't be without this toner. You'll see how many toners I have in my basket. That's not even the tip of the iceberg when it comes to my toner collection. These are just the ones I'm using now. This, seriously, like, I honestly wasn't getting what I needed from here that I had to open this one up. That's how good this is. TM Vita B5 Toner. I've talked about this one a lot too. I still really love this toner. Super, super hydrating. This is a toner. It's definitely really watery, but it's got a little bit more body to it than the Keep Cool. The Keep Cool is much thinner. This is still watery, and it absorbs into your skin still very quickly, but this has definitely got a little bit more body to it. When you feel it, especially in your hands, or you move it across your skin, you can feel that there's a little bit more richness to this one than you get with the Keep Cool, while still being deeply hydrating to your skin. Now, this actually contains a high amount of panthenol. Panthenol, again, super, super great for sensitive skin. If you're not catching on to the theme here, these are all very mild products that I've been using recently. And that's because my skin, I went through a little bit of a period of irritated skin. I had an irritation from a product, actually, and it caused all kinds of like a minor havoc, and I basically ended up just sort of clearing out my entire skincare routine and sort of building back from scratch, just focusing on really, really mild ingredients appropriate for sensitive skin, because that is what allowed my skin to bounce back from this product irritation and get my skin back to health. Now this toner, again, a lot of panthenol. Panthenol, you're going to find this in a lot of products for babies and infants because that's how great it is for sensitive skin. Not only that, it calms irritation. It's very soothing on the skin. It actually binds a lot of hydration to your skin, but it also has benefits for fortifying your skin's lipid layer. Now the lipid layer, we're talking about your moisture barrier. This is part of the moisture barrier. When your lipid layer is strong, not only, you know, is it going to make your barrier strong, but it's also going to allow that hydration to stay in your skin. This is incredibly important for dehydrated skin. It just hugs the hydration to your skin. So I really, really like this toner a lot. I'm very impressed by this one. And I would say second to the Keep Cool, this is definitely the toner that I lean on the most to get all of my hydration to my skin. So another product that I use sort of in an essence step, not technically called an essence, but this is where I would slot it in my routine. This is the Laneige Cream Skin Refiner, and this is a hybrid between a toner and a moisturizer. And because I do usually, I'll do a routine anywhere between probably about 8 steps up all the way up to 10. For me, this slots really nicely kind of in the middle in an essence step. So let me tell you about this one. This is like I said, it kind of comes in a toner format. It's really watery, it's really runny. Once you put it onto your skin though, it feels like you just put a layer of cream, like a really lightweight cream on your skin. It's deeply nourishing, it's deeply moisturizing, and because it is more on the moisturizing side, I definitely use this to sort of balance out my hydration. So this is definitely something that I like to use after using a bunch of watery toners. I'll then put this on, and that's why I said I'm kind of, it's not an essence, but I do kind of slot it as an essence because in my mind, more of the traditional essences, not those watery essences. An essence really for me in my routines and about finding balance, it really bridges the gap between hydration and then my more moisturizing, more cream layers. It definitely just kind of bridges that gap and kind of gets my skin prepared to start sealing in the hydration and really start hugging that hydration into my skin. And that's what you do it with moisture. So that's how I use this. I usually, right now, I just started using this in June, and I really find that I can only handle one layer of this. A lot of people will claim that they can use this actually as their moisturizer. I've not been able to find that because I do find that if I layer it up, I've done 2 layers when my skin is feeling very, very irritated. It feels very nice, but anything more than 3 layers, it starts to get kind of greasy. And it tends to feel, it doesn't sit heavy on the skin, but it feels like it's heavy on the skin, if that makes sense. It kind of fills your skin up, and it's like your skin doesn't want to take anymore. I think it just gets too rich, basically. So I like to stick to 1 layer, 2 if I really feel like my skin needs it, but I do keep going with more layers. Serums. You'll actually be surprised to know that I don't have a lot of serums on rotation, actually. I have 2. Serums are probably one of the more exciting products in skincare. I feel like serums tend to be really, really popular, but I told you earlier in this video, I really focus a lot of my energy and money on toners because that's really what my skin craves. And I really use my serums as a way to just treat my skin. With really concentrated ingredients. So one that I have on rotation is one I've talked about a lot as well. This is Keep Cool and Soothe Serum. This is a much more hydrating, lightweight gel type of serum. I use this when my skin needs a little bit of extra hydration boost. This has a lot of bamboo, which is very, very good for dehydrated skin. It's quite good at binding water to your skin. It's also jam-packed with minerals and amino acids, which are great barrier helpers. And it also has some Centella in it. So if my skin is feeling on the irritated side, I usually break this one out as well. The other serum that I have on rotation is the Iunik Noni Light Oil Serum. Again, another one that I've been talking about a lot recently because this is like, I use this as a hybrid step between a serum as well as a facial oil. Again, I like to find that nice balance between hydration and moisture in most of my routines, but facial oils are kind of a no-no now that it is summertime. They just don't absorb into my skin properly. My skin fluctuates, but when it gets warm, it can get quite oily, and it just won't accept this kind or it won't accept facial oil, but it will accept this kind of serum. that has the nourishing benefits of a facial oil. So texture on this is really nice. This is so appropriate for summer, and I'm really liking this. Like I said, it's kind of a hybrid step because it's kind of a 2-in-1 for me, honestly. Now you guys know I like to use a step or reserve a step in my routine for what I call a barrier step or a barrier treatment, and that really comes from my moisture barrier issues I struggled with last year. You know, I had damaged my moisture barrier pretty badly, and I really, not only was my skin irritated and angry and quite frankly just pissed off at me, not only that, but then I struggled pretty badly at first to heal my skin up, to get it to heal. It was a really long process. Once I figured it out, once I kind of like figured out not only what your barrier wants, but what my skin wanted, let's just say it was a really long journey, and I never want to go back there. I never want to get back to that state where my skin was just so irritated, so dry, and so angry. So because of that, and because I kind of accept the fact that dehydrated skin, even if you're, you know, even if your barrier is much stronger, dehydrated skin is still a sign of weak moisture barrier function. That could be genetic, or it could be due to kind of like maybe some missteps with chemical exfoliation. I think I'm a little bit more genetically prone to dehydration in my skin. That's kind of going into a different area, but basically what I'm trying to say is having a step in my routine that purely focuses on things like ceramides, fatty acids, and cholesterol is very important to me, because I find this to be a really crucial step in maintaining my skin's health. So without further ado, you guys know that the ones that I usually have on rotation are Krave Great Barrier Relief, which is what I currently am still using. And I actually just ordered Stradia Liquid Gold, my second bottle, Stradia Liquid Gold, that I will be replacing this one with. This is almost empty. The only reason that I'm not repurchasing the Great Barrier Relief right now, it just made more sense for me at the moment to buy the liquid gold, because it's the same price as Krave Great Barrier Relief, but it actually happens to be about twice the size. So for me, I know that it was just a better investment to get the liquid gold to replace this one. I will probably start to use Great Barrier Relief. I'll probably repurchase it. I'll probably alternate them, to be completely honest with you. For maintaining my moisture barrier, either one is going to be perfect. If you have a damaged moisture barrier, I kind of like liquid gold just a little bit better. But I'm still plugging away at this one, and I really like it. I did add in something that is a little bit better for barrier maintenance than barrier repair, just kind of a warning. But this is a really great lightweight cream that actually happens to have a lot of ceramides, a lot of barrier helpers. There's fatty acids in here. And I also believe that there is a cholesterol precursor in here, which is good enough for me. This is the Jung face and eye cream. You guys know I'm a huge fan of their Essence toner. And that is also something that I actually recommend if you're trying to repair your moisture barrier. Such a beautiful hydrating product to use, because it actually happens to deliver a lot of ceramides to your skin early in your skincare routine. But going back to this is a brand new product from them, and I'm in love with this. This is, even though this is a cream for your whole face, don't get confused by the name. This is like a very humectant type of cream. It comes in a really thin and hydrating layer. The reason that I'm really quite enamored of this, and I like to kind of replace this during the daytime for the Krave, because the Krave is quite emollient. If you've used it, you know it can make your skin feel quite rich, maybe even slightly greasy, because there's quite a few oils in that one. It's very emollient. This is such a beautiful texture. It's jam-packed full of moisturizers. Like I said, it's got barrier ingredients that are so great in here, but the texture is a humectant cream that's very thin, never sticky. It doesn't leave a rich finish. It just feels very hydrating on the skin, and yet it still is quite nourishing. Not always the easiest to find that balance in the texture with the benefits of nourishment. So I'm actually loving this for summer, and it's just, I mean, you can't fault the ingredients list. It's just jam-packed full of great ingredients. Now, moisturizers, you know, moisturizers are the one area, it's kind of a gray area. I kind of consider it a gray area, especially as somebody who recommends a lot of skincare to a lot of people. I have to be honest with you, sunscreen and moisturizers fall into a similar category to me, because There are definitely skin needs, you know, your skin type, your skin condition, and certainly your skincare goals. Taking all of that into consideration when picking a product, that certainly works for toners, serums, cleansers, chemical exfoliation. It works for all of that. But when it comes to moisturizers and to a certain extent sunscreens are certainly the more complicated one of the bunch. There's also what I call like your individual wants. You have certain things about a certain list of requirements for these types of products. Like it can't have a rich finish. It can't make me greasy in the middle of the day. It can't, you know, blah, blah, blah. It has to work under my makeup. Those types of things, that's what makes moisturizer so complicated. And it's one area that I'm always like, I'm never quite sure what to recommend. That being said, let me show you what I'm really loving right now. I just want to do a quick shout out to Cerave Moisturizing Cream. I know I talk about this a lot. I mentioned that I had been going through a period of product irritation. And when anything like that happens, maybe I'm getting a bad breakout, maybe my skin gets irritated. When that is the case, I just go back to Cerave for my moisturizing cream because it just does a trick. It's not sexy. Look at this, is a really ugly jar. It also happens to be quite old, so it doesn't look very camera friendly. But it works. It works. It's got barrier-loving ingredients. It's a nice water-based cream, so it doesn't have like an oily or emollient finish. It's going to work really well with a sunscreen on top of it, and it's got some great occlusives in it as well without feeling suffocating on the skin. It heals the skin. It's appropriate for sensitive skin. It soothes the skin, and it's no frills. And I always go back to it. It's my home-based moisturizer. That being said, let me show you two other ones that I have on more regular rotation. Cerave is my home base. For super, super hot summer days, I have been loving the Missha Bridal Cream in Intense Aqua. It can get super hot, it can get super humid, and as I said, my skin fluctuates. If it's warm, I will become oily, no doubt about it. I'll be dehydrated underneath, but I will be oily on top, and that's why I love this Missha Bridal Cream. It doesn't add any finish to your skin. This is super, super hydrating when you put it on your skin. It feels so nice for dehydrated skin. It's got a great amount of humectants in it, but it's really balanced with occlusives as well, and occlusive ingredients are great because what they do is they just hug the hydration in your skin. They create a nice, essentially a barrier that kind of helps to prevent transepidermal water loss. Very important for dehydrated skin types like myself. So I really like this because there's no weight to it. You put it on your skin, it feels refreshing and hydrating. It dries down to like hard, there's no finish to this. It's not it's not like matte, and it's not balmy or dewy. You can actually, it dries down really quickly, so you can actually go in with your your sunscreen really, really quickly. This is like the perfect summertime moisturizer for me. It's like, it crosses off so many things on my, remember when I said like your wants? This crosses off a lot of wants on my list. So I love Missha Bridal Cream for really hot and humid days, or when I just need a really thin moisturizer. But for other days, kind of more my everyday moisturizer, the one that I seem to reach for the most is actually a new product, but I have absolutely no reservations about wholeheartedly recommending this, especially if you have a similar skin type to mine. This is the Iope Derma Gentle Cica Cream, and I have been reaching for this over and over and over. What's nice about this is it's a little bit more nourishing, a little bit more comforting on the skin than the Bridal Cream is. Bridal Cream is very, very, very hydrating. This is a little bit more of a traditional cream feel on the skin, but it happens to have the same feature as the Bridal Cream, which is it creates a really nice dry, I don't want to say dry finish because I don't mean dry skin, but I just mean when you run your fingers across your skin after putting it on, you don't get richness, you don't get greasiness, you don't get like a slick feeling. It's just dry. It's just ready for your sunscreen or your makeup or whatever you want to put on top of it, or it's just ready. There's no sinking in, and I can get that with the Cerave. Actually, there is a little bit of that, kind of like a little bit of a finish to it, and certainly other emollient creams that I really lean on when my skin gets very dry in winter time. We have that problem. In summer, I gotta get in right with my sunscreen right away, and so I really like this finish, this sort of dry, kind of matte type finish on top that doesn't dry your skin out, don't get me wrong. This is so beautiful. It's a really, really, really simple cream, simply formulated, and it's perfect for sensitive skin. Speaking of sunscreens, I'm only going to touch on this just because I've talked about both of these products so much on this channel, and they actually both have their own dedicated videos, and so if you're interested, definitely check those out. So two facial sunscreens on rotation for the summertime recently, and that is the Klairs Soft Airy UV Essence. Kind of the similar, as I said, about like between the Missha and the Iope. This is the one that I really choose when the temperatures aren't too oppressive. This does have a slight dewy finish to it that can make me look really shiny on like the really hot days. So for the really hot days, I actually go for the Purito Centella Green Level Safe Sun sunscreen. Both are fabulous, fabulous sunscreens. They have more in common than they do different, to be completely honest with you, but those are my sunscreens of choice. So you might be wondering about chemical exfoliation, and to be completely honest with you, I actually just don't really use that much in my routines. I kind of have a PTSD with chemical exfoliation just a little bit because of all the struggles that I went through with my moisture barrier, and really what healed my barrier was keeping chemical exfoliation out of my routine for a long time. I have, of course, used chemical exfoliation since I healed my barrier 7 months ago. I'm not saying that, you know, chemical exfoliation is bad, but I am definitely a lot more hesitant about using it a lot, I guess. And I just find that my skin is doing better with less of it in my routine. So I actually have a pretty chill chemical exfoliation routine right now. It may change in the future, but that's just kind of what my skin is accepting and wanting and telling me right now, and I'm honoring what my skin tells me. And so there's two products that I've been using on a fairly regular basis. I've changed some things up this summer. So you guys know that I like the Drunk Elephant A-Passioni retinol cream. This is kind of an expensive retinol. I'm sure there's other retinols that cost less that do the same. This just happens to be the one that I was sent by the brand, and I happen to really like it. If it's in your budget, I definitely think that this is worth it. Now, I was using this in the springtime actually about 2 times a week with really great results, and my sensitive skin actually tolerated it pretty well. However, I did go through that product irritation. It was not from this, and I just cut everything out of my routine that could potentially hold my skin back from, you know, bouncing back from the irritation pretty quickly. And part of that was essential oils, and the other part of that was chemical exfoliation. So I actually stopped using this for, I think it was about a month. I hadn't used it for a whole month straight. And you know what? My skin was still really clear. My pores were not like all dull and congested and dark. And my skin just was pretty clear. It was just doing really well. That was a sign to me that I don't need to do retinol 2 times a week. And so I've been bouncing back between doing it like 1 time a week and like once every 2 weeks. I also wanted to make it a goal to use retinol a little bit less in the summertime, just because the photosensitivity issue with retinol can really make you very vulnerable to UV damage. And while I am very, very consistent with my sunscreen, reapplication, sometimes we just don't always do it like when we should. It's not even about just doing it. Sometimes we don't do it soon enough, especially when we're just a little bit more exposed to the sun in the summertime. The sun is closer, the UV rays are stronger, and obviously the sun is out longer. I got this little one over here, Piper, and she's out for walks all day long. So I know that even though I am consistent with my sunscreen and I'm reapplying it a bunch, I still believe in human error. Long way of explaining that I wanted to lessen my use of retinol in the summertime anyways, and kind of get back to a slightly more regular routine in the fall. But because my skin is staying clear and it's not giving me any troubles yet, right? Anything could happen. I'm cool with using it about once every 2 weeks. It's just kind of keeping it up, maintenance, just kind of keeping my cell turnover, you know, going at a good consistent rate. Another product that I occasionally use, but I absolutely love, is the Klairs Freshly Juiced Vitamin C Drop. This is so good. This is 5% L-ascorbic acid, not a very high amount, but it's perfect for sensitive skin, and it's really the one vitamin C that I've been able to consistently use without any issues. My skin doesn't scream about this one. It loves it. 5% doesn't seem like a lot, but it really works. It really brightens up your skin. It really lightens hyperpigmentation, and it really does give your skin like a really beautiful glow and a nice bounce to it too. So Personally, right now, I don't feel any need to like upgrade the percentage because it's working well for my sensitive skin, and it gives me, the visual benefits that I'm looking for, the brightness, and what more can you ask for, right? So that's my skincare basket. It's a pretty epic talk through of all these products, but this is what I've been reaching for over and over again for the last couple of months. So let me know in the comment box below, what's one of the few products maybe that you've had on heavy rotation recently? Let me know in the comment box below. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing. I release 2 new skincare videos every single week, and don't forget to turn on those notifications so you never miss when I upload the new video. I hope you guys are having a great day. I can't wait to see you in the next video, and if you can't wait to see me either, hit me up on Instagram in the meantime. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.